The Trump team made some huge admissions about the crypto market and XRP. A lot of other cool things are happening right now that not many people are aware of. There's good news, though. I did the deep dive research for you so I could bring you a lot of news that not many people are talking about right now. Before we get to that, I'd like to make a quick PSA. There was just a huge hack on Bybit's market. Some of the money has been moved to new places to be sold. As of now, 200 million Ethereum have been sold because of this hack. One of the wallets on the Bybit market had 1.4 billion ETH stolen. There is no reason to worry because this exchange still has one-to-one backed reserves, which means that users will be safe. However, this is a stark warning that not every exchange is safe. You should sign up for BTCC if you are on Bybit and want to switch to a safe exchange that has been around for 13 years without any big problems. They can be bought in the US and Canada. In Australia and most of Europe, you can buy them. That's where you can sign up. This is not a problem for you because you can send your money there from Bybit. Of course, if you do that, you can also get a great 10% deposit bonus. That's out of the way. I do want to talk about a lot of what's going on here now. There are a lot of really important things going on in the stock market, the crypto market, and with big investors. I'm also very excited to share some huge news about how XRP and payments are changing. The first thing I want to do is talk about big investors and what they do. There is a clear trend in this image. In line with this trend, institutional buyers are putting less money into stocks. In the past few weeks, the funding gap has gone down by 50 basis points. It hasn't been this low since August 2024. This checks how much demand there is from institutions for long stock exposure through futures, options, and swaps. The drop began after the Fed meeting on the 18th of December, which is interesting. The last time spreads fell so quickly was in December 2021, before the bear market of 2022. When do these big buyers plan to start buying the dip? We need them to act quickly, because if they don't, a bear market is becoming more possible. The volume in these futures markets needs to be kept up by institutions. If they stop investing in them, the markets will finally start to go down. There are also a lot of companies that seem to be saying, I'm not sure if I want to buy right now. They might believe that a big drop is on the way and want to buy that dip. Their wait might be for something else. We still don't know why this is the case. For now, though, we do know that a lot of companies are also not sure about the future of their money. In fact, that's also a record high. Is it possible that they just don't want to take any chances that could hurt their business in the long run? You might not believe that the bull run is over, but we should pay attention to this, because it is. Now, some big news from the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. They agreed that the case against Coinbase should be dropped. Right now, this is truly amazing news. We were expecting this exact thing. For a long time, everyone was asking when this would be made public, and now the SEC has made their clear. What does this really mean? The Ripple case will now come next. Here's the deal. I get why some people are angry about this. Why isn't the Ripple case being talked about at the same time? Oh, it's really hard to explain. I'll talk about that in a bit. The reason for that is that there are other big things happening. And if they do talk about this, it could affect those other things, which is great for XRP. I'd like to talk about some things that are happening here. The first thing we should know is that XRP and the Federal Reserve are actually connected, right? Ripple's technology is used by the FedNow payment systems. This means that XRP is already much more closely connected to and supported by the government than any other cryptocurrency project, especially Coinbase. Coinbase has to follow some rules set by the government, but that's pretty much it. In any case, they don't really help the government like Ripple does. There is a bit of a conflict there, which is something that you should sometimes think about when you make any kind of statement. I will say that I think very soon the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and pretty much every other government agency will start using blockchain technology. Elon Musk has talked about this in great detail, and he is now thinking about having Doge check up on the Federal Reserve as well. And so if he finishes reviewing the Federal Reserve and they find a lot of fraud, the next step would be to put it all on blockchain technology. That way they can keep an eye on everything that happens and everyone can see it. Also, Elon Musk has already talked about this and said that he really wants to make it happen, which makes a lot of sense to me. Because we've already seen a lot of fraud in the government, this is a great chance for XRP to really stand out. It's already partly integrated into some government systems. There is also a clear choice for everyone involved. ETFs are also big news, right? We just got approval from the Brazilian ETF. Even though we already knew that Grayscale had filed for their ETF, we are now officially on the Federal Register. What does this mean now? It is, in fact, a very big deal. We can see that this actually starts the clock for the SEC Gov, which has until October 18th to decide whether to accept or reject the filing. Now, this almost perfectly fits with my theory that there will be a huge recovery by the end of the year. The SEC might want to wait until the end of the year. And if they do and they okay around October 18th, a lot of money will flow into the XRP ecosystem. I want to make something very clear now. I do think it's very possible that this will be approved much sooner. But before that can happen, the most important thing is to get the current SEC court case with XRP thrown out. Everyone knows it's a huge waste of money from the people. We all know that the case is completely made up and is only being used for political reasons. That needs to go away. Before this goes through, we need to make sure that stops. So it's possible that this will happen on October 18th. That more than likely, it will happen a lot faster. I want to tell you that that's just a deadline. That being said, that is the date. It's being watched by everyone on October 18th. The XRP ETF from Grayscale will go live on that date, which can't be changed. To be clear, BlackRock and a lot of other companies will also be applying for their own ETFs. This is going to be great in order to help XRP grow. Because of this, we can get really excited about it right now. Right now, we'll talk about what I think is the day's most exciting news. We can see that the Federal Reserve has publicly accepted BFT. This makes XRP, XLM, and HBAR even more important for safe payments. In a study paper about a secure payment system model, the Federal Reserve officially acknowledged that the Byzantine fault-tolerant models, also known as BFT consensus models, work well and can be scaled up. This is a big support because BFT models, especially the Byzantine agreement-based mechanisms, give distributed networks the most security and scalability. It has been proven that XRP, XLM, and HBR all use Byzantine fault tolerance variations. According to studies by the Federal Reserve, this model is better than other consensus mechanisms like proof of work, also known as Bitcoin, or proof of stake, also known as Ethereum. This makes it the best option for fast, safe banking transactions. This is important because not all coins allow this level of tolerance, but the Federal Reserve has studied it and proven that it works. Because XRP, XLM, and HVAR are also ISO compliant, which means they follow international standards for financial messaging, it makes sense for the bigger central bank to connect with the most safe, scalable, and compliant digital assets. If you look at what else is going on right now, it does seem like XRP and HBAR will be fully integrated into these systems in due time. If you look at the ETF records, you can see that Elon Musk says we need some kind of blockchain technology to help keep track of everything and audit how the government spends money. All of these cases against Coinbase and soon XRP are being thrown out by the SEC. It looks like almost everything is in place for XRP to be fully integrated into either the Federal Reserve or the whole government. They're actually releasing whole payments while talking about how XRP's ledger system is better than Bitcoin or Ethereum's. That is completely crazy. That is terrible news. Also, I'd be thrilled if XBAR or XRP were added in any way. We do know that Ripple works with the FedNow payment system in some ways right now. That's great, though of course we want to make more happen there as well. I have to say, that's really good. One last thing I want to say is thanks to Digital Asset Investor. He did talk about Coinbase's case being thrown out, and he said, congrats, but Ripple should have been first. People who owned XRP were targeted more than anyone else. No one. I agree with this. Over the last few years, XRP has had to deal with every possible problem from the government to rules and regulations.